What is up, YouTube? Today we are going to be reacting to Gagel's new video about Down Throw Thropper, because one of the reasons I stopped playing Mii Brawler quite as much as I heard from a lot of people that Down Throw Thropper wasn't a real confirm on FD against a lot of characters and you had to be on platforms, but apparently a lot of new information has come out, so I want to watch this video, learn, and then honestly, although I don't think this is going to be for the same YouTube video, I'm going to be playing Mii Brawler against my subscribers, so that'll be fun. But before you do that, subscribe to the channel, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, you know. Okay, let's go. Subscribe to Gagel. Please subscribe to his channel. I'm subscribed. You should subscribe to him. That's kind of half the reason that I'm doing this, is so y'all can go give him some support. He's really good. He only makes Mii Brawler videos, but it's a very interesting concept. Very interesting. His videos are really, really good if you are interested in Mii Brawler, so go check him out.
In this video, you're going to learn why Down Throw Thropper is so broken for Mii
74?
and how to perform it
yeah,
correctly.
okay.
I will cover everything you need to know about how to execute it, which characters can escape on which stages, how to set it up, and also the counterplay. You can skip between the different parts, but I really recommend you watch the whole thing to understand how it works.
Now we're
Let's
gonna
start with
watch
Down
the
Throw
whole
Thropper
thing.
from ground level on Final Destination, which has the same
Jesus.
ceiling as Lighted Cruise, Pokemon
SD
Stadium
Live
2,
Stadium,
Yoshi's Story,
Yoshi's,
and a
and
small
Smashville?
battlefield. This chart
Wait, is
shows
Smashville a higher ceiling?
32%.
I didn't know that. Oh, look at that chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Little Mac, what? 7. No, it works in Pikachu. Doesn't work in the Ditto? That's weird. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's not that many characters that it doesn't work on. That's pretty good.
For each character, as well as some more details which are
You can see
later.
Doc's behind me, and so
It is assumed that the
52
opponent
to
will be
89.
away
Holy
from
fuck,
you
that's a big
and use
range.
their fastest escape option, mainly air dodging. Jump as an escape is not factored in, as it usually gets caught anyways. The attempted directional air dodge in most cases will also be directed away from Brawler, which will be important later. Rage affects this combo quite drastically. The higher the opponent's weight, the higher the effect of Rage.
That's crazy. 34!
Rage affects this combo
52!
quite drastically.
Look at 52!
The higher the opponent's weight, the
That's
higher
fucked.
the effect of Rage, meaning Jigglypuff
34!
18% earlier at max Rage,
That's
Mario
OD.
20% earlier, and Bowser 30% earlier.
Damn,
It
that's
does,
crazy.
however, not significantly increase or decrease the percent window, but only shift it downwards.
Okay, that's fair. That's a
Now
good
for
point.
the important part, execution. First thing to notice that it doesn't matter whether you buffer the throw or pummel before. The relative position between you and your opponent
That is pretty
always
important,
going to
yeah.
be the same. To get a guaranteed KO, you have two main goals. You want to delay the up B as much as possible so you can gain more height,
That makes sense, yeah.
and you want to perform an inwards thropper. What I mean by
Oh,
inwards
to make it go higher?
is that you should
Oh,
hold
okay,
your
that makes sense, that
control
makes sense,
stick
that makes
towards
sense.
Brawler once the move started, so you travel almost directly upwards. Be careful though to not flick your control stick too early,
Or you'll
you
be
will be
reversed.
reversed on accident.
That makes sense. Everything so far makes sense.
There are two different methods for performing grounded down throw thropper. The dash first method works on every character but should only be used on the ones marked red. As the name suggests, you have to dash for a very short while and then jump and double jump towards your opponent.
Yeah, I do that one a
only
lot.
dash far enough to still
I
hit
dash
the
almost every time.
inwards thropper. Start the jump any later than that and you're gonna miss crucial time and thereby height. Make sure to hold down the first jump input long enough for it to be a full hop. A short hop won't accelerate
Yeah.
you fast enough.
Gotta make sure to follow
At
up.
later
Also makes
percents,
sense.
it is less important to hit the inwards thropper, as the outwards one will also kill. You also want to aim for the second to last hit of thropper.
I didn't
to
realize
connect
that
the
he
highest
went
possible
brrr,
percent.
bah.
The
That was a
final
different
hitbox
arm.
comes out
That's kinda
5
interesting.
frames after the one before. Using these 5 frames to gain more height and hit the foregoing hitbox is more efficient in comparison. The second method is the no dash method, and works only on the characters marked green.
No, that
You
seems
might have
broken.
guessed it already, but this means you do not have to dash before jumping towards your opponent. Instead,
Like, that's
you
so
buffer
much
your first
higher.
jump
That's
right
so
after the
much
throw
higher.
ends.
It's crazy.
Hold your control stick towards your opponent for the whole time until the last moment where you input the inward thropper. If your timing is correct, you will hit the opponent
That's so
kind of
good on Rob.
sideways
I actually
and
got
grab
it when I
them
played
up from
MVD's
there.
Rob too.
At
It's
higher
actually so
percents, in
good.
most cases you can keep doing this and only replace the inwards thropper with an outwards one. Against some characters though, you might also have to dash first at the absolute highest percents possible. The no dash method is easier to execute and also kills much earlier, so it's definitely worth remembering.
That's crazy.
There is, however, a limitation to it. In some of these examples, the thropper hitbox might have seemed a little weird. Some characters just get scooped in from far away, even if they're
Oh, it's because they're
clearly
air dodging
somewhere
away,
advanced.
so they can move in,
The reason
right?
for that is, that I specified this chart for opponents air dodging away from you.
Yeah,
Directional
similar thing.
air dodge.
The only reason I knew that is because it's a very similar thing with Pikachu's Up Throw Thunder. Up Throw Thunder on directional air dodge in is super real against a lot of characters, like most characters. But if you neutral air dodge, you don't have that little like move in, so you have to run a little bit farther, which means the combo just becomes very not true on like characters with 3 or 2 frame air dodges. So yeah.
Dodging has this weird property where you first move to the opposite side of
100%.
the input during the air dodge starter.
Yep.
For some characters, this shifts their hitbox so much that Thrapper will still catch them during that starter. If the opponent were to air dodge towards you, the starter would shift them away from you, making it impossible to hit most characters with no dash method.
That's why I would just do the dash one all the time. Like, obviously it's not going to kill all the time, but still.
Now that we've covered the DI out case, let's look at the other options. No DI in that regard is very straightforward. Against no DI at all, the combo simply becomes easier to perform and kills for a way larger percent window. The execution pretty much stays the same, your timing is just way less strict. DI in is a little more difficult, but not by much. Opponents will die even earlier than with no DI at all, but the execution is a bit more tight. Again, you start with either the no dash or dash first method depending on character, and jump. Once you notice they are DI in, simply B reverse your up special, and you should be fine.
Yeah.
From my
or just reverse it. It doesn't even have to be a B reverse.
Offline, but most likely not on Wi-Fi. The inputs can be a little difficult as you have to B reverse and then instantly hold to the other direction to get the inwards.
Dude, I can't wait till I can do that. I'm actually getting a Switch today.
On stages with higher blast zones, you usually won't be able to get a guaranteed
so I'm going to be actually able to have training mode mods.
On the few characters it works on,
I'm going to do like 2 training mode streams like next week.
Kill % go up by around 17% on Battlefield and Kalos and 15% on Town and City and Smashville.
Wait, Town and Smashville have the same ceiling? I don't know why in this game, I just don't know stage like boundaries. I thought Battlefield had a bigger side blast zone, but apparently that's just not true. So, sick.
The reason it won't work on most characters anymore is the switch from inwards to outwards thrapper. At the point where you have to use outwards thrapper to still hit your opponent, you will lose a lot of height to drag your opponent upwards, and by that also a significant part of your
you can't see. Oh, actually you can see.
Kill power.
Damn, that's crazy. That's a big difference.
This isn't a problem, because it still has the same knockback as it had at early percents. But on larger stages, it means we cap our maximum possible knockback before the necessary power is reached. Phew, that was a lot of technical stuff.
No, that made sense.
Here's a quick recap before the next part. On Final Destination, Pokemon Stadium 2, Lighted Cruise, Small Battlefield in Northern Cave, Downfall can kill a lot of characters from ground level.
That's fucking crazy.
There are 2 different methods, the dash first and no dash method, which work on different characters.
This is a really good, this is a really well done
which direction the opponent tries to escape. Rage will shift the whole percent window downwards by 20 to 30%. Against no DI and DI in, it'll kill even earlier.
I'm also just going to have that chart up when I'm playing people,
on other
100%.
stages though, most characters are immune, as long as they DI out. The next part will focus on platforms and platform setups. The execution method changes a bit, so let's talk about that first.
Remember, that sounds like MVD.
At low percents, until around 55%, you want to use no dash method on all characters.
I wasn't listening.
Are immune, as long as they DI out. The next part will focus on platforms and platform setups. The execution method changes
you just win.
So let's talk about that first. At low percents, until around 55%, you want to use no dash method on all characters. But instead of starting Thrapper somewhere under or besides your opponent, you now want to input the move slightly above them. The reason for that is, no matter which target or hitbox of Thrapper you first connect, the opponent will be dragged up to the exact same final hitbox either way.
100% makes sense.
So if you hit with the very first hitbox as low as possible, you travel the highest and apply the knockback closest to the blast zone.
Yeah, that makes sense.
This makes a huge difference when you look at examples like these. If you were to input up special at the same position a Luigi would, just below Bowser, Thrapper won't kill until 80%.
Damn.
But if you jump just above him and scoop him up, it'll KO.
Holy shit, that's a big difference.
This gets more and more important the lower the percents go on the higher platforms.
Damn! So, that's wild! I mean, it makes sense, I guess, but like, holy fuck.
These graphics by BMZ show the average percentages where you could expect a kill. With perfect execution, these can go down a few more percents, and with Rage, well, Jigglypuff dies at 12% on the PS2 platform.
12?
So yeah, it's definitely worth to go for. The next question is, how do I get my opponent on a platform in the first place? Experienced players won't just come up there to challenge me. First, you have to recognize that camping on a platform in certain matchups is an insanely strong tool. If you're already in the lead, don't be scared to spend a few seconds on the top battlefield platform waiting for Mario to come to you.
Yup.
But if that doesn't work, there are some useful setups to get them up there. Down tilt and up tilt. At the right percents, these two moves will force a tech situation
Ooh, nice tech
on any
chase.
platform,
Beautiful.
which allows for a tech chase.
That's super good.
There are multiple techniques for tech chasing on platforms, but I recommend
Yeah,
either
waveline back.
landing as far away as possible from the opponent,
Where you, like,
or
jump,
jumping
double jump
over
above
the
it.
platform, fast falling, and then
Oh, okay,
show
that's a
up
different
to
version.
avoid get-up attacks.
Basically the same thing I was saying.
The same thing works with down throw on Battlefield and Yoshi's Story.
Yeah, that's the one I
Depending
know.
on the eye, you can tech chase for a regrab and get a kill at any percent.
You can also actually get a true combo on Yoshi's where you do down throw, like jump, double jump, up air, fast fall, grab, and you can actually get like a kill at like
Landing
10.
up air is also an option. However, it's only a small window and usually better to try and follow up with something else. Like another up
Lol.
air into up tilt.
Like the actual combo,
Or, you know,
idiot. Don't go for
usually
tech
better
chase, go
to
for
try and
combos,
follow up
stupid.
with something
Is basically
else.
what he's saying.
Like another up air into up tilts. It's still good to keep in mind though. Up tilt and down air can hit opponents under the
Lol.
platform who try to contest you with non-disjointed moves. Especially up tilt hits surprise.
Whoa, up tilt hit low.
Into a grab.
What?
Especially up.
Bruh. I mean, Pump only sticks her hand out, but still.
Up tilt hits
That's a hell of a
surprisingly
hitbox.
low and can combo into a grab. Lastly, you can always empty land grab opponents who shield on platforms themselves.
Yeah.
Now for some tricks you can use to surprise your opponent. For the first one, instead of pummeling, you want to buffer your throw as fast as possible.
Yeah,
after
so
the
you
whip.
don't...
Down
so they
throw
don't
only gives
DI.
your opponent 27 frames to react with the right DI, so especially on Wi-Fi, it's not unlikely to miss it. So if your opponent is just barely in kill range, consider not pummeling but throwing them as fast as possible
Yeah,
to
that
catch
makes
them
sense.
off guard. The second trick involves DI trapping your opponent in the corner. If you get a grab close
okay.
to ledge at around 100 to 110%, forward throw won't kill but put them in a really bad situation. Even worse if they DI away from you.
So then they're going to
So a
DI,
lot of
which means
people will
you're going to
DI
get it.
towards you on reflex, similar to Captain Falcon or Palutena. So going for down throw instead will most likely leave them vulnerable
Yeah.
for a Thrupper follow-up instead.
Makes sense.
Hitting only the first hit of Thrupper, or only the first and last hit, looks like Smash 4 jank,
Didn't know that
but
was a
it's
thing.
unfortunately pretty useless. Normal Thrupper will always kill earlier than these variants, even if you do manage to get it on purpose. And not
I've
just
never
by
seen that.
accident.
I've never even... That's never happened to me when I played
The
Brawler.
last part will cover counterplay and counterplay. The most obvious note here is, don't get grabbed. This might
Facts.
seem trivial, but if you can survive that small percent window where the combo is true, or simply wall Brawler out, you will have a much harder time killing. The Brawler player, however, might catch on to repeated spot dodges and
Yeah.
jumps, knowing you are playing defensive.
Like, up air,
Don't
up
challenge
is
Brawler
really
on a
good.
platform if you don't have a large disjoint.
Ooh,
Even if you're at
clean.
20%, an up tilt air dodge read grab will still kill you. Avoid going to Yoshi's Story, PS2, or generally stages with lower blast zones.
So you mean like there's 6... If there are 6 stages, you can't ban all of them, so you can't just
Grab
avoid
combos on
going to
Battlefield
them.
and Smash are still strong, but not dying from ground level is invaluable, depending on your character.
I didn't realize Smash Roll had a higher ceiling.
Finally, the most
fucking
technical but also effective counterplay. Air dodge towards Brawler instead of away. This ruins any attempts at the no dash method and will make the follow-up a lot harder if you're fast enough.
Yeah, I would
No
just always
reason
do
to
dash
ban
method.
Brawler mains. At higher percents, where the combo is more lenient, you can still hit any attempted escapes. Also, if your opponent knows about air dodging inwards, it simply becomes a 50-50
you
instead of a
died.
guaranteed kill. Just bait the air dodge and then jump up for a guaranteed Thrupper, which you
Lol.
kill even earlier than
That's
usual.
hilarious.
And that's it for down throw Thrupper. This video contained a lot of technical details, so I recommend watching certain parts a second or third time to fully understand them, and
I understand
experiment
them.
alongside it. Optimizing this combo will drastically improve your gameplay.
74!
and make Brawler
That's
a lot
crazy.
scarier at relatively low percents.
Jesus, fuck,
If
that
you
was
have any
insane.
questions left, please leave them below, and until the next video.
Damn, that's crazy. But of course, everyone, while we're here, of course... Yeah, that was super good. That was a really informational video. I feel like I learned a lot. I'm going to now do that on people, which you can check out in another video. So remember to stay subscribed so you can watch me beat my subscribers with me, Brawler. And I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.